Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and yeah, as we continue this nostalgia trip, this Decline Chain series, do you guys remember Sbarro? Sbarro, the quintessential, ubiquitous mall slice. We reviewed Fuddruckers, we reviewed Boston Market, and Sbarro was also on my mind as a, like a declining chain. I don't think it's quite dying out like those other two are, like Fuddruckers and Boston Market, but it definitely is declining. Like I think Sbarro at one point in the US had hundreds of locations, and by hundreds I mean like 700, 800, 900, maybe thousands. I believe they're now only down to a few hundred, like they've lost more than half of their locations in the US. If you've grown up in the US, Sbarro is pretty much as ubiquitous as a slice as you can get, right? I guess besides Pizza Hut, Domino's, maybe Little Caesars, Sbarro is like the most common slice, right? And I guess for me personally, I feel like I sort of have nostalgia for Sbarro in that oftentimes when I was at the mall and I really craved a slice of pizza, there was Sbarro with its, greasy, oily pizza smell, and it would entice me to get a slice. But I also felt like Sbarro, I know a lot of people say that they hate Sbarro, but I felt like Sbarro wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't great, like it was pretty much mediocre pizza. And if you're a high school student wandering around the mall, I guess mediocre pizza is all you really want. But now Sbarro is just really, really declining. It seems like being in shopping malls was their whole thing. Like they were just a convenient mediocre slice. That was their whole business model. I guess it's not necessarily the worst business model, but it seems like malls have kind of declined in general. Chain restaurants seem to have declined a lot just overall, but it seems like also malls have kind of declined, probably because of things like Amazon and things like that. So combine that with the fact that pizza has just gotten way better in America in general. Like every suburban town has at least one or two, good quality mom and pop pizza shops. So I guess there's kind of not really a reason to eat at Sbarro anymore. So that's kind of the way I see for their decline. I don't know. Again, it's been a really long time. My tastes were probably different in high school. I was at a different stage in life as well. So I thought Sbarro was not great, but I thought it wasn't bad. So I don't know, let's try Sbarro. There's not many left, but I drove out to Elizabeth, New Jersey, to a mall here in Elizabeth, New Jersey that still has Sbarro. Let's go into the shopping mall, let's try Sbarro, and yeah, let's see how the state of Sbarro is in terms of its food. So let's check it out. So actually this mall in Elizabeth, this food court is one of the better ones I've been to. First of all, it's quite large. It's really, really, really big. And on the left there, they got Popeyes, a pretty solid fast food chain. Burger King's only okay in my opinion. And they got Nathan's. Nathan's is all right, I guess. A little unhealthy, but kind of hits the spot sometimes. Oh, actually, this is a Nathan's Arthur Treacher's. Wow, Arthur Treacher's, you don't see that every day. And obligatory Americanized Chinese restaurant, and yeah, there it is, Sbarro. Actually, it's looking like the saddest of the lot. Everywhere else is nice and bright and, energetic looking, but Sbarro, I don't know. Maybe it's just the angle, but just look at how poorly lit and, I don't know, sad looking it is, so nothing to it but to try it. Actually, I was wrong. I think it might indeed have been the angle. Now that we're closer up, the lighting's a little better, and it does not quite look as sad as it did before. And yeah, they have a new logo. I haven't been to Sbarro in many, many, many years. Maybe even almost a decade now, and they have a new logo now, and the new logo's not bad. Definitely looks more modern, I think, and it also signifies that this is, believe it or not, Sbarro actually is from New York originally, so I like that touch. Although for me, the tacky Italian flag logo will always be the most nostalgic and the true Sbarro logo to me. Can I get one cheese slice and one pepperoni slice? Sorry. And I'll do also a small big ziti. No thanks. Yeah, no thanks.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we just got all our Sbarro, and let me show you what we got. So, of course, when you get pizza, you gotta get some soda. So I got an orange soda, and also gonna try one of the pastas. So we got a baked ziti, and we got 2 of their pizzas. We got an obligatory cheese slice. You know, this place is claiming to stay true to their New York roots, so cheese slice, plain slice is as classic as it gets. And we also got a pepperoni. Doesn't get much more classic than either cheese or pepperoni. And it is looking nice and greasy and oily, and actually not as greasy as I remembered. So let me show you the price though real quick. This whole meal was almost 30 bucks. The ziti was 9 bucks. The cheese slice was $6.50, $6.59. The pepperoni was over $7. And the drink was 4 bucks. Oh my goodness. For almost 30 bucks, wow. 2 slices of pizza, a pretty small box of pasta, and a drink for 30 bucks. I could eat at Gallagher Steakhouse in New York, one of the best steakhouses in the whole city, for about 30 bucks for their lunch special. So, I mean, Sbarro, that right there was one of their problems. The prices are just outrageous. I mean, would any pizza shop, not even in New York, but anywhere in the whole world, would any pizza shop be charging like $6, $7 a slice? Wow. Let's just dig in. Nothing to it but to review it. So it could be getting hurt by these mall fluorescent lighting, but it actually, you know, I know in the video it might look a little pale, but okay, it is a little bit pale. I'm just gonna be honest. It could be a little more vibrant, but it actually doesn't look terrible in my opinion. It looks like your standard New York style slice. Unlike a New York style slice though, I mean, New York pizza is kind of characterized by being thin slice and being nice and foldable. Yeah, the Sbarro slices are definitely doughier and thicker, although not quite doughy enough to be like a, you know, like a Chicago deep dish or something, or like Detroit style pizza. They're kind of just like in between New York pizza and, you know, non-New York pizza. They're just kind of like, I don't know, like fast food style pizza, but kind of made more freshly. They're kind of just stuck in between fast food and like, you know, a mom and pop pizza shop. But let's give it a try. Why don't we? I mean, it's piping hot at least. Anyways, no leopard spotting, just completely that fast food pizza bottom. But let's give it a try. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, I guess it just depends on what your standards are going to be. I mean, let me go over what I like and what I don't like. I think what I mostly like is the sauce. I mean, the sauce actually has a pretty vibrant flavor. It's very tomatoey, the sauce. It's very garlicky. If you don't like garlic, it might be a little too much. I like garlic, so I think it's okay. I guess it's a little bit too strong. It's a little bit too garlicky, so they could probably dial it back, but I mean, I gotta say, the tomatoes that they're using, like the tomato sauce they're using is nice and sweet, and no, actually the sauce is not bad. The cheese kind of has like a, I don't know, like a glue-like consistency, so that's one thing I don't like, the consistency of the cheese, like how glue-like, and I don't know, like it almost kind of resembles like a mozzarella stick or something. The crust is not good quality. I mean, this is pretty much basically just like a Domino's pizza quality crust. You know, it's not really that leopard spotted pizza. Oh, okay, I mean, I guess there are some spots here and there, but still, like, this crust is a little bit too cracker-like, but it's also not crispy like a cracker. Like, it's a mix between like a cracker and like a loaf of bread. I mean, it kind of just tastes like bread with cheese and sauce on it, which I know some of you guys might argue that's basically what pizza is, but I would disagree. Like, I feel like pizza, you're almost transforming the dough into like a different substance, into like a pizza crust, not just like a freshly baked piece of bread. And the whole thing needs to meld together. You know, the whole thing is like reborn, the cheese, the sauce, and the dough as pizza. You know, not just like tomato, cheese, bread. But honestly, the most egregious thing of all is just the price. I mean, if this were like dollar pizza in New York, I think it would be acceptable. Okay, maybe even like a normal price, $3 a slice. This might sort of be passable because it's mostly just convenient, but for like $6 or $7, this price is just outrageous. I mean, I will say, I do genuinely think that the sauce is actually not bad. I think they actually improved the sauce since when I ate it when I was growing up. But the crust is the most important part of any pizza, and the crust is a kind of a miss, I think. Only a slight step up from Domino's, if even. Not the best. Will the pepperoni be any better? It's already looking a little bit more edible, right? Although definitely leaving more of a grease mark, you know, than the cheese did. And is that garlic in there? Looks like they really amped up the, you know, the garlic flavor on the whole pizza in general. Actually, that cheese is now kind of having like this aftertaste. It's a little strange. Let's see if these toppings will help. And this is a really floppy, really, really soft and I don't know, really soft pizza. It should not be like this soft where it's like, you know, where you're able to like mold it like the Russian gymnastics team. You know, it shouldn't be that flexible. So. It's actually, so yeah, obviously you can see for yourself, it's just incredibly greasy, and it's so greasy that the grease has like soaked through the pizza and made like the middle of the pizza completely soft and limp. So, you know, that's not really pleasant. Let's talk about the good. I mean, the pepperoni actually tastes pretty nice. I mean, they did a pretty good job of like baking the pepperoni this location, where the pepperoni has gotten kind of crispy and has even curled up a little bit, and you know, that's nice. I like when they do that, and you know, I like when the pepperoni has some crispiness and isn't just like flat and oily. So that's great. So because you get some nice crunch, like oily crunch with the pepperoni, you know, it kind of helps to salvage the pizza a little bit, but again, just because of how limp this guy is, and it's just so oily, this could not really be anything but drunk food, you know, or like desperation food. So if you're at like a rest stop, you know, you've driven for like almost 8 hours and you need some fuel to keep going, you know, I guess this is better than nothing, but prepare for some acid reflux later. Yeah, I don't know, not my cup of tea. But let's take a break from this oily oil bomb, why don't we? Maybe their baked ziti's okay. I mean, it didn't look terrible when she was scooping it, so, you know, maybe it will help to salvage this whole meal a little bit. She asked if I wanted sauce on top. That is not the way. I don't want that sauce to cover up all the cheesy goodness, so let's try the baked ziti. Let's give this baked ziti a try and see if it redeems anything at all. All right. Remember how I said that the cheese kind of had like an aftertaste? Well, this cheese kind of does too. I don't know. In pizza form, it's almost a little bit more tolerable, but over pasta, it really doesn't work, and it really adds like a funky aftertaste. I mean, the texture of the cheese, I don't know, it's just so, let me see if I can find some. It's hard to find the cheese even, but like, okay, so it's looking decently stretchy here, this cheese, but again, when you eat it, like, I don't know, it's not like, it does taste a little bit like glue-like. Like, okay, so maybe the cheese was stretchier than it tasted in my mouth, but the quality of the cheese does not taste good. Like, is this whole milk cheese? I feel like this might even be like skim cheese. They're using like skim milk cheese, or like, you know, like 1 or 2% milk or something like that, because the cheese here just does not taste very rich. And even in the cheese pizza, I felt that, you know, it's mostly the sauce carrying the pizza. The cheese itself has like kind of like a strange texture and is also kind of lacking in some, you know, stronger cheese flavor. It would not surprise me at all if they were using like skim milk cheese or something. I think there's pieces of Parmesan in here too, I believe. They don't taste good like in like a fresh grated Parmesan way. They taste kind of old and like it's cheap quality Parmesan, like not even that Kraft pre-grated stuff. Like it just tastes like, I don't know, like an even lower grade than that. And these noodles are just like so soft. Like I know Big Ziti is not known for al dente ziti noodles, but these noodles are just like so soft and basically like mush. Like just look at how easily it's coming apart. Like I apply no pressure and it pretty much becomes like baby food. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this Big Ziti, I kind of want my $9 back. Totally not worth the price. So, I don't know, guys. Let's salvage what we can of this meal, I guess, and share some final thoughts in a bit. All right, guys, I just finished eating at Sbarro for the first time in at least 5 to 8 years, and I still have that aftertaste in my mouth. It's not even just the cheap cheese. It's also that garlic flavor that I originally liked. I don't know, now even that garlic flavor is even leaving like an aftertaste, and I don't know, it's not like a pleasant fresh roasted garlic flavor. It's like a garlic powder flavor, and it's not great. Let's wash that out of our mouths a little bit. But anyways, guys, yeah, I think there's many reasons for Sbarro's decline. I think, you know, we talked about some of them, like the decline of malls, the rise of other fast food pizza chains, Domino's in particular, and Little Caesars, just there being more pizza restaurants, more mom and pop restaurants that are better quality at making pizza. But I think at the end of the day, the biggest issue is that I just don't think their food is very good. Okay, so it wasn't like completely inedible, like, all right, I mean, the crust sort of had like a nice, pleasant, freshly baked bread texture to it. But again, you know, with pizza, you want it to taste like pizza. You don't want it to taste like, you know, bread with tomato and cheese on top of it. And then the cheese was just, you know, kind of off-putting and not great. Really, the sauce was the only redeeming factor, and it had such a strong garlic flavor that I don't think that's gonna be for everyone. Okay, the pasta was almost inedible. Like, the pasta was just mushy and, you know, that weird cheap aftertaste throughout the whole thing, and I don't know, it was like cat food or something. But I don't know, Sbarro, I mean, Sbarro's whole business model, I think, is just that they're convenient, not even cheap, they're just convenient. I mean, they're just mall pizza, maybe airports, but it's a mediocre, in my opinion, worse than mediocre. But you want pizza, you've been shopping at a mall or you're at an airport, and you know, you're like, all right, I guess I want pizza, I guess this will do. But you know, times have changed. You know, you can't really get away with mediocrity anymore. Like, nowadays, the pizza game is significantly better, significantly stronger than Sbarro's heyday. You can get high quality pizza pretty easily nowadays. And honestly, other chains are beating them on convenience too, you know? Like Domino's, Little Caesars, and I would argue that Domino's pizza is also beating them in terms of taste as well, I would even argue. So anyways, the way I see things is not just changing the sign. I think unless Sbarro, you know, revamps their whole pizza in general, just make better quality pizza, you know, I think they're only gonna continue to struggle. You know, I think, remember when Domino's did that whole, we promised that from now on, this is a reset button and now we're gonna make better pizza from now on? I think if Sbarro did something like that, they may be able to turn things around, because I think the way they are now, I don't think they're gonna appeal to many people, because they're neither tasty, nor are they that convenient, and yeah, they're not even cheap, so yeah. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Of course, this is just my opinion. I totally get that taste is subjective, and you know, maybe many of you guys like Sbarro, so let me know in the comments what you think of Sbarro, because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. And I've almost got that aftertaste out of my mouth, so almost there. So until next time, I'll see you later.